I have biceps and you will see them. Also, we have a case from Evetech. It's pretty cool. Let's go. I was walking through the Evetech office and I happened to notice one of these being built in the workshop. So I barged in there, all casual like, because that's just what I do, make myself at home, deal with it. And it was looking really, really good. So I said, please give me an empty one. I really want to have a look at its internals and see what it's about. And I did check the temps and everything on that machine, and it was air cooled. It did have an almighty Hyper 212, ye old classic Cooler Master cooler on the CPU, but the temps, everything looked really good. So I was like, well, let me get into the physical nature of the product and see what it can do and what its limitations are. So first we're going to start with the package that you receive. Now you get the Nova case, obviously over here, nice glass side panel, and then 6 addressable RGB fans with a built-in controller. They all daisy chain off of that controller, which sends them their power and their RGB-ness all in one go, which is quite nice. Now if you don't have an addressable header, they do sort you out with a little remote. And then this has a gajillion functions, which Brian will show you with a nice little swipe over the top. You don't have to see my face, you can see all the pretty lights that are inside of this here Nova case. And as if that wasn't enough, the setup here is actually really, really good. It's kind of standard, but that's actually a good thing. So let's start off by taking off this front panel and getting stuck into the inside here. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? There we go. Okay, so that fits in there quite firmly. Bit of a heart attack. It was easier the last time I did it, but there we go. We're inside the case. And the first thing I noticed was obviously these two fans set up over here. Now, both of them are on extraction, which is quite interesting. And then these were coming down. So they're going for a top-down cooling system. Now, it does work. I do have case studies on this where it does actually work quite nicely, especially where your GPU is concerned, because it's not sharing any air coming through from the radiator. Normally that is a good thing though, because the radiator is generally the coolest part of your cooling setup, but you can basically set it up in either way. The front is really easily removed. There's just a couple little slots in here, and then the front can come off completely. You can see how quick I can remove it. There is enough space for a full 240mm push-pull setup for a radiator on the front. No 280mm rad support. It was a little bit sad. I would like to see a 280mm support on the next version, but the current version, 360mm on top, 360mm at the front, plus two 120 spaces over here. And if I remove this back panel, you will notice that there is a mesh over here, and it is magnetized strip, which is quite nicely done. So cleaning that is going to be an absolute breeze. And speaking of breeze, as I said, there are 6 fans in here. Let me show you the controller setup. So we have the controller on the back panel here, which is stuck to the back panel, and then the kind of supporting cables come out. There's your addressable RGB header. There is as well the alternate header for the Tortoise boards, which is this little guy over here. They had to be difficult and use their own, I know. But then all of that comes out to the single Molex plug. Now you can plug something into the back of it, not that you generally would in a modern PC. Most stuff is SATA powered. It's nice, honestly, that it's on Molex because it doesn't take away from you using SATA power elsewhere. So I actually do quite like it. Plus then obviously the normal switches, USB 3 and then HD audio. All of that is on the top panel nicely over here. There is another removable magnetic strip on top, so that's easily cleanable. So for air cooling setups and 240mm rads and that kind of stuff, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. You can put a 360 at the front. I'm just very partial to push-pull because, as we've seen in Brian's machine overhaul, push-pull makes a huge difference as far as airflow goes. So it's set up for literally general everyday cooling. And then there's a nice little power supply window. This was also a nice little feature that they had on here. There's actually has a window so you can see the power supply. There is a removable mesh at the bottom for that. 2 spaces for 2.5-inch drives, which is more than sufficient. Couple of SSD setups. There's a nice removable plate on the back here where you can put some SSDs on there, which is going to be quite nice. And then a huge amount of space back here. And in the screw kit, they give pretty much everything you could ever need, including some ye olde cable ties. So you'll be able to cable tie stuff up nicely to the back. The back of the case looks like this. As you can see, there's plenty of channeling for your cables on the back of the panel. There is the controller that I was talking about, and then this can be set up to connect straight to the motherboard. And everything is produced by Evetech themselves. So as far as a custom proprietary kind of case goes, this is a very good entrance. This is the first edition of this case, and beside the 280mm rad support, there's literally nothing I would change here. It's very, very nicely set up. The fans are great. All around good job from Evetech. So thank you so much for watching. We do hope to see you in the next one. I think this will be our last one for this year, however. So we do wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and the happiest of New Year's. See you next time.